Welcome to hole number one of the Michigan Lynx tournament, played here on the Waterfield Sands course. I'm setting up on the left-hand side with an extra mile and a Titan ball. Max top, 2 bars of right spin here, and you're going to see we're gripping it and ripping it. Max overpower into this headwind. Even if I had a tailwind here with an extra mile 7 and a Titan, I would probably be playing max overpower as well. Now, there's certainly a play on the right-hand side, but for sake of simplicity, I'm just going to show this left side here as the primary play, but you definitely can investigate both routes depending on the wind. Second shot, I'm playing here with the sniper, and you'll see that we're a little bit close to max distance, but we're going to give this one a couple of bars of backspin, somewhere between 2 to 3, depending on what you would prefer in this situation, but 2 bars seems to set up just nice. Because of that headwind, I do have the ball guide through the hole a little bit, and I'll be adjusting this shot at 20% max distant. And, this is a good course. I think coming off of Southern Pines, I think we're going to have a lot of fun here. It's, there's a couple of difficult holes, but all in all, you'll see in this video that there is a lot of drops to be had, and it's going to be fun. A lot of opportunities, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great tournament. So, straightforward shot, nothing crazy, goes right at the pin, gets in the hole. We'll see you on number 2. Hole number 2, there's a couple of main ways to play this hole. I'm going to show you the rough bump. It's a pretty popular way to play. 1 back, 3 bars of right spin here, and this works out perfectly well with the katana and the sniper in a headwind. If you would like, you can also play this one down below this landing position on the fairway. Give it a little bit of topspin and have that ball roll up and roll back to the hole. That works out pretty good in tour play, but this here in this controlled and dialed tournament shot, you're going to see works very, very well also. So 15% minimum distance there on the adjustment, and you're just going to go directly at the pin with a nice little rough bump. I think this comes in beautifully. I could play that all day. Hole number 3, this is kind of a tough par 5. Really, the goal here is to get your eagle. I'm setting up with an extra mile and a Zerk, giving it 4.5 top and 2 bars of right spin. The problem that I was having with any left spin here is that bunker on the left, as you can see, is very much in play. So the idea here is to get it off this fairway out into the last one there, closer to the water. So 10% max adjustment after setting this one up down the middle of the fairway. And you see that we're going to push this one back up. Well, I thought I was going to. Never mind. And max overpower. Tiny little smidge of right curl. Just a couple of clicks. Nothing crazy. Do try to hit perfect here and get this one in play. You need the Zerg, especially for the distance. Now, that clip there is fine. It gets you to slow down perfectly into the fairway here, but you still have a long ways to go to get there. This is where the big dog or a good level cataclysm could come into play. And you can see right here how this will set up. So I set it up basically when I'm just past the rough, not having to do any crazy overpower. I played this one actually at 5.5 bars of topspin, 2 bars of left spin, and I'm going to give it about a ball and a half of left curl. You see, we're setting up our adjustment, 10% max, nothing crazy here. I'm really just trying to get this one to the green or as close to it as possible. So here's the curl. It's only 1 ball, but a little more would be just fine. And with the top spin, a little bit of left spin, you see this one needs a bit more, but good weight on it and gives you a perfect little shot here for eagle. Hole number 4, this par 3 might be one of the best shots I've ever come up with on my own without any help. 2 top, 1 bar of left spin here, and I've got the backbone and the navigator. Second bounce you can see is just down on the fringe. And we're setting up with this red ring fairly close to the bunker, but lots of room to be safe. I don't actually need the app. I'm playing this shot at 1-to-1 with the backbone. I know it's not normally the way you play this club, but there you can go. 3.3 rings for 3.3 wind. No overpower, no curl, no BS. Just a straightforward shot. I find the backbone at 1-to-1 can actually get you where you want to be more often than not. And there we go, right at the pin. That's what you want to see. Okay, so hole number 5, this par 5 is once again very, very difficult, very boring. We're just trying to get the eagle. Even in a headwind, you can play this max topspin shot with a big topper and a Titan ball. You could bring a Zerk to make your second shot a little bit easier, and you'll see why in a moment. Second bounce there, notice it is in the rough just before the fairway of that little island. 10% max on the pull. Make sure you practice this one a couple of times so that you get the bounce out properly. So here you go, little bump and roll, you have to hit the rough there or you're going to be in the water. You could be in the rough down below. It's possible. I actually dropped it from there one time. I know you probably don't believe me. Second shot here. Now I've got the backbone and we do have a bit of room to work with. I think I should have given this all the backspin. You'll see why in a minute. I went with 5, but I think 6.5 would have been absolutely perfect. And I do think I use, 2 bars of left spin here because the ball guy just gets a bit wonky. Doesn't really want to cooperate. So you kind of have to seize the moment here and just kind of get the best bounce possible. I should have had that third bounce much further from the pin. I know the rollout there is quite a bit longer than I'm anticipating, but I had just had a little bit of difficulty with this hole, trying to get something consistent. End of the day, it's not a massive albatross opportunity. Like, it can be, but this is, again, the par 5 is pretty difficult here. Just trying to get it down to the green. You see where the 6.5 would have come into play, or lining it up a bit more. A little bit to work with, but it's definitely a start. Okay, hole 6 is a par 4, a long par 4 that does require a very precise second shot to have a chance at that eagle, but you're going to see that precise shot. First shot, though, katana and an extra mile, 3 top, 1 bar of right spin, and we're trying to get as far as we can to the end of this first fairway without going over, of course. So that will just oh, and thank you very much for the donation. I'm kidding. That was from a stream a long time ago. But thank you nonetheless to all of you generous and beautiful people, especially all of the subscribers recently. Tons of new members. Thank you to the gifted memberships, Mr. Carl, Mr. Paul, and many, many more. You guys are all incredible. I do appreciate the support and the love on the channel. Second shot, we're playing this with the Goliath. And I'm going to use 6 bars of topspin, 3 bars of right spin, playing this as a rough bump. Now, 0% max is the adjustment you need here. And it's a little bit finicky, okay? You do need to kind of just find the special spot. You can see this ball guide is glitching out all over the place, 1 millimeter too far forward, and you're going to be in the drink. So just, there you go. There's the 6 there. Just kind of play around. Sometimes it's actually better to play it further down the slope and then compensate accordingly. But this one, for whatever reason, because of the headwind, compresses it slightly enough so that we're not landing on the fairway. And I think you'll like the way it turns out. There we go. Clean shot. It's down and over. Close to the edge, but well calculated. That's the roll you need. Any hotter, and this thing would have been gone. We'll see you at number 7. Hole number 7, this is our final par 3, and I'm showing you on the left-hand side here how it is possible to set up a shot that could definitely work and give you something to work with. A couple bars of back, a little bit of side spin there. But, the slope is greater there, and it's more difficult to find consistency. 2.5 back, 1 left, and I've got that blue ring very, very close to the bunker. You see that ball guide trailing up nicely to the pin. I think this is the way to play over here on the right-hand side. I play this one at 20% mid. I do think it's closer to max distance, but you be the judge here. I think it might have even slightly over-adjusted because it comes in oh so nice. This is about the flattest spot to land in this area because there is a lot of curvatures and undulations, but all in all, comes in very, very close here. It gives us something we can work with. Hole number 8 in rookie, we have the privilege of playing with this little pad as a landing position. So I end up giving this one 4.5 bars of topspin, 2 bars of right spin. This should be 10% max adjustment. Not too much wind. So we have a clean, simple little pull here, 2.8 rings, or excuse me, 2.8 wind, less rings. Nothing crazy here other than half a ball of right. Girl, sorry for the little glitchy video there. I've since upgraded my equipment, so that no longer happens. But this is what you need with that curl. Too far here, you could get yourself in trouble. And too much curl, you could clip that rough. So make sure you practice these shots. Second shot, I'm playing this at 10% mid-distance with your favorite long iron, whatever it might be. I tend to use the backbone. It works out well for me. 1 bar of backspin here, and I'm playing this one directly at it. Of course, one of the big things that nobody ever gives these front tee rookie rounds any credit for is the low level clubs, the lack of ball guides. That's one of the hardest things to adapt for, is not having that big fancy full developed ball guide. So all the very best of luck to you trying to figure out these shots. Sometimes it can be a big pain in the butt, but when you can get it to work, it feels so good. This one's a little tiny heartbreaker, but as you can see, we're not off by much, and you know this is going to be the way to the hole. Okay, hole number 9, this par 5, we got to finish strong. Setting up with the Titan in the extra mile. We're going 3 bars of top spin, maybe 3. No, I think I bring it down to 3. Yeah, 3 bars of top spin, 1 bar of left spin. And we're just doing a little bit of a finesse drive here. Nothing super crazy. You got the red ring touching the rough on the right. You could certainly play this with like a rock or a quarterback, even a Thor's hammer, something to give you a little bit more accuracy. But I always find, you know, use a couple of practice tokens. Extra mile can get the job done. It's got the distance we need. A little clip and roll down here in this slight depression on the fairway around the 337 yard mark. That's important because you'll see the second shot comes in very, very nicely. Going for a rough bump here. I know we're closer to mid, but I'm playing this with max numbers with the backbone. 3.5 top, 2 bars of right spin, and we get that beautifully developed ball guide to put us in a beautiful position. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the videos, to click the thumbs up, and to subscribe to the channel. It's so much fun being a part of this Golf Clash community, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't been able to make it to a live stream, check it out if you can. And don't forget, erelicgaming.com. Download the notes for this and for Pro based on the video. Good luck.